Camera 7, tilt up. Ready? Roll green. Stand by. Stand by. Stand by the lights. Camera.
Hey, what's up everyone? It's Giorgio, your friendly neighborhood YouTuber, and I am back with another wrestling pay-per-view review just for you guys. And wow, and it is a crazy one. You know, we had WWE Extreme Rules 2019, and actually this has been a crazy weekend full of wrestling, you know. Wow. I have to gather my thoughts here, but I hope you all are doing really well. Thanks, you know, to anyone who's tuning in to this. You know, wow. You know, and we're gonna do things a little bit differently on this, you know, podcast or talk show. I don't even look at this as a podcast. This is a talk show. We're gonna talk wrestling, and you know what? I'm not even going to wait till the end of the show to talk about the main event, because that is gonna be the first thing we talk about right now. And yes, your eyes are not deceiving you. Brock Lesnar is the new WWE Universal Champion, and man, you know, we had to know that he was going to cash in eventually, and actually Extreme Rules seemed like the perfect night to do so, because it was an Extreme Rules matchup, you know, in the main event, which was Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins defending their belts against Lacey Evans and Baron Corbin. And wow, that match was definitely extreme. And I know the title of this pay-per-view review or talk show for tonight is going to be, you know, was WWE Extreme Rules 2019 extreme? And honestly, I will have to say yes. You know, I did have some problems with the WWE Network. It kept buffering it, and it kept freezing up on me. I don't know if that's the weather. I know my internet was great because I restarted the internet, but I definitely had a lot of problems with that. But I do think WWE should do some more work with their network, and, you know, keep updating those servers so that they don't be freezing on people. You know, it's going to be very annoying. But one way that I did learn that you all can, you know, make sure that you're watching the network right, you know, is if it starts freezing, delete the app and then reinstall it. And usually I think that works. It helped me tonight. But anyways, I really enjoyed the main event, you know, with Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins. You know, we saw something crazy. We saw Baron Corbin hit his finisher on, you know, Becky Lynch. And that really drove Seth Rollins into complete, you know, just anger. And he just went off on Baron Corbin by hitting him with tons of chair shots and kendo sticks. I like this really cool spot of the match where, you know, Becky climbed on one part of the, you know, turnbuckle, and then Seth Rollins, he climbed right on top of the, you know, the pole or whatever, the ring post. He climbed on top of the ring post. He did a frog splash off of that ring post, and Becky Lynch did a leg drop off of it, landed on Lacey Evans, and then of course, you know, Seth Rollins landed on Baron Corbin, and man, that was sick. Yeah, that was such a cool little moment right there. You know, I didn't expect, you know, Becky and Seth to lose the match like that. You know, at least to, you know, those two. But, man, when Brock came out there, and you know what? Speaking of Brock Lesnar, I heard some chants in the crowd. I don't know if you all did, for those of you who watched the pay-per-view. But if you listen carefully, you will hear the fans saying, "We want Lesnar," and then you'll hear some other fans arguing with the other ones, and the other fans were saying, "No, we don't." So they were saying, "We want Lesnar," and then the other fans were saying, "No, we don't." Because I think everybody, they kind of had a feeling that Lesnar was gonna show up, and if I was Brock Lesnar, tonight would have been the night for me to show up too. But I have nothing bad to say about that match. I know some people are gonna be kind of pissed that Brock Lesnar is now the Universal Champion. We knew that was gonna happen again. We kind of knew that. And you know what? It's on WWE. You know, if they want to alienate their fans by putting the belt on the guy who's only gonna be there maybe what, a couple appearances on TV. You know, of course we know he's gonna defend that belt at SummerSlam, but after that, when is the next time we're gonna see Lesnar? It's gonna be a minute. You know, we may see him for Survivor Series because that's one of WWE's biggest pay-per-views, but other than that, I don't think we're gonna see too much of Brock Lesnar after that. Yeah, I mean, in between all of that, you know. But WWE, they gotta stop doing this, man. It's like they don't have any faith in who they have as their champions, you know. And as for Becky Lynch, I think that we might see Becky Lynch versus Ronda Rousey. You know, I don't know who else can they have for, you know, Becky Lynch to face at SummerSlam. You know, of course there is Sasha Banks, who everyone's anticipating on coming back. You know, so Sasha Banks should be coming back, but I would rather her go and face Bayley, because I think they could have a really crazy matchup with, you know, Sasha Banks being the heel turning on Bayley. But who knows? Sasha Banks could show up on Monday Night Raw tomorrow or whenever, you know, and she could challenge Becky Lynch at SummerSlam for the belt. Or we could see Ronda Rousey, because I know they hinted at, you know, Becky Lynch being the only woman to beat Ronda Rousey in Ronda Rousey's WWE career so far. So I think that will be a really cool little thing right there to see. So either way, you got two really good matchups that you can go with, you know, to kind of sell out the show for SummerSlam. You could do like Becky Lynch and Sasha Banks, you know, at a Survivor Series or whatever, because that's still a really good pay-per-view. But anyways, now that we got that out the way, let me know what you all thought of the main event. I'm curious to know. And of course, we had Undertaker and Roman Reigns versus you know, Shane McMahon and Drew McIntyre. And you know what was shocking was that was the first match of the card. You know. And I guess now that we know, of course, Lesnar was cashing in and the crazy ending that the main event had, it made sense, you know, for Undertaker them to go first. But I was expecting them to at least be the co-main event, but they opened up the show. This is the first time we've ever seen the Undertaker open up a show. So I really enjoyed that match. We saw Shane McMahon do the coast to coast elbow off the top rope through the, you know, Undertaker through the, you know, table. You know, we saw Elias show his old wannabe singing ass out there. He hit Undertaker with the guitar shot, and then from there, you know, Roman, he was able to make the save and hit, you know, he hit, who was that? He hit Elias, I believe, with the spear or something. But then he threw Shane McMahon into a crazy cool looking tombstone pile driver for Undertaker to get the win. And I think a lot of people were shocked to see Undertaker wrestling, especially after that whole Saudi Arabia show. You know, I'm actually okay with that. You know, I'm cool with the Undertaker coming back. This was the right matchup for him, and I think Undertaker wanted to make up for what happened at that Saudi Arabia show with Goldberg. And I know Goldberg, he said he wanted a rematch. I don't know if we're gonna get that match, but if they can give Undertaker another match, they probably will give Goldberg something. You never know. But I'm glad Undertaker, he came out on top. He looked good. This is the right matchup for him. And if you're going to have Undertaker wrestle, you put him with some younger guys. You make the match short so that the Undertaker looks good. And so anyways, we're going to move on to the WWE title match for SmackDown, which is Kofi Kingston versus Samoa Joe. And the network started buffering, so I missed a good part of the matchup, but from what I saw, I thought it was really good. It made Joe look strong. But the way Kofi Kingston won, he won with a counter into the ropes. I think when Samoa Joe was coming off the ropes and Kofi hit him with the Trouble in Paradise kick, and that got Kofi to win. And it made it seem like Kofi got lucky by winning. So, and of course, the New Day, they had won the SmackDown, tag team titles, Xavier Woods and Big E. So now the New Day have all the belts on SmackDown. That's crazy, ain't it? It was just wild. So yeah, now they got all the belts, and that's gonna be kind of interesting, And I'll be honest, WWE's tag team division has been looking very weak as of late. We've been seeing the same matchups, and I might as well talk about the other tag team title match, which is the Revival versus the Usos. I like watching the Usos wrestle. I like seeing the Revival is continuing to show why they are very good as a tag team. They got the win because I feel like, they kind of do needed the win from this pay-per-view. And so, they got the win with their little combination. It's like a cold breaker type of move that they do. They got the win, and that's good for them. I feel like the Usos don't really need the belts, but I do want to see more tag teams in the mix. They have Heavy Machinery. They're okay. They're not too bad, but we need more captivating tag teams in the WWE tag team division, not just Raw, but SmackDown too. And that goes for the women's tag team titles. We don't even see those girls, the Iconics, defend their titles on SmackDown. We haven't seen them defend the titles on the pay-per-view. They haven't been non-existent. And I know they've been teasing this match between them and the Kabuki Warriors, which consists of Asuka and Kairi Sane. But I think they're going to have that match at SummerSlam. That match does not need to be on the pre-show. And they did have Finn Balor versus Shinsuke Nakamura for the Intercontinental title. It was on the pre-show. Shinsuke Nakamura won the Intercontinental title. The fact that that Intercontinental title match was on the pre-show, when that is a very important title in my opinion, that belt should be on, that title match should be on the main card. And I think we had a total of 8 or 9 matches on the main card. So I don't know why that was on the pre-show, but it is what it is. Finn Balor, we barely see him. I don't know what they're doing with Finn Balor now, and I don't even know what they're doing with Shinsuke Nakamura. We barely see him on TV, so we don't know what the hell's going on. They got great talent. They just need to utilize them better. Make us care about these people. Show us, that they can be really great wrestlers. But then of course, we had Alistair Black versus Cesaro. And that was a really fun match to watch too. Alistair Black, he pretty much caught Cesaro in the middle of a combo with the Black Mass kick, which got the 1, 2, 3. It was very sudden. I definitely recommend going to watch that matchup. And I'm gonna be talking about who benefits from winning at this pay-per-view, and who's gonna benefit, from who's not gonna benefit from losing. But that will be coming up in just a quick minute. But yes, Alistair Black, Cesaro, definitely go and watch that one. It was really, really great. And then of course we had Ricochet versus AJ Styles, and of course AJ Styles is a heel now. He had the Club, which is Anderson and Gallows, in his corner, and of course before the match even starts, Anderson and Gallows, they attack Ricochet to try to give AJ Styles the upper hand. And this was a really great high impact type of matchup. Of course, the network started buffering and freezing up again on me, so I missed some, cool little moments here and there. But I did get to see how AJ Styles won the US title. He won with this really dope reverse Styles Clash maneuver from the top rope, man. I'm so glad that he hit that move right, because that could have definitely ended well for Ricochet, and it's like, wow, poor Ricochet didn't even have the US title long. I mean, I guess when you turn AJ Styles heel, you gotta throw a belt on him, I guess. But I don't think Ricochet should have lost. If he did lose, it should have been by disqualification or something. But since it's Extreme Rules, I guess. But hopefully he'll win the belt back, at SummerSlam. But I just don't know. It's gonna be, I don't know. I just don't know what to say anymore about that. Man, yeah. But you know what? Like I said, honestly, I don't think this pay-per-view was really bad. I do not think it was a bad pay-per-view. I mean, I was entertained. Oh, and before I go, we gotta talk about that crazy Extreme Rules, last man standing matchup between Bobby Lashley and Braun Strowman. I feel like that match was the accumulation of Extreme. It definitely lived up to the name of this pay-per-view. These guys fought every single place in the building. I saw Braun throw Bobby Lashley up against the wall where they sell the t-shirts in the concession stands. They used chairs. I saw Lashley hit this really crazy spear when Braun was coming around the ring to do his little signature shoulder block move. Well, Bobby Lashley got a counter for that, and he hit him with the spear. And then just a lot of crazy cool spots. Lashley, he took this really devastating power slam from Braun Strowman off the top of this staging area over there in the crowd, of course giving Braun the win. And I heard, from the news, wrestling news, is that they're going to give Braun Strowman a huge push. So, I think he benefited from winning this matchup. And you know what? I mean, we're gonna see if Braun does not get over this time around and he doesn't end up with the Universal title. You might as well say he's done. Now Lashley, on the other hand, I have no idea where he's gonna go from here. I don't know if I think he's not gonna benefit from losing this matchup. It's gonna be hard to come back from that. I don't think AJ Styles needed the belt either. Kofi beating Samoa Joe, I'm okay with that, I guess. But poor Samoa Joe can't get now one big title run at all. Before he's losing the belt. So it's just crazy how that is. They play hot potato with that US title. So I don't know, man. That's the thing. And I think for a belt to mean something, you gotta at least have it on a person for at least 3 to, I would say 6 months, depending on their level of star power. At least have it on them for 6 months. If not 6, have it for 3 or 4 months. But you can't just have them losing the belts just back and forth like that, because if your favorite wrestler is losing, then you're gonna lose interest in that particular wrestler. But I think this is just a WWE booking decision, but who knows. I heard that they're gonna be having some new design sets too for Raw and SmackDown, and I guess this will probably be for when the whole Fox, when SmackDown appear on Fox and everything. And one would have to think a certain other company is pushing WWE to give us a better product. We got Eric Bischoff over on SmackDown as the executive director. We got Paul Heyman over there on the Raw as executive director, which basically they're just there to make sure that the stories that we see on TV are being told right. Vince is still making the final call on a lot of that stuff, but all in all, I think Extreme Rules was actually pretty good. I mean, there's some things that they probably shouldn't have done. Like having Lesnar win, but hey, it's okay as long as Lesnar ends up dropping the belt to somebody who can really benefit from beating him. But yeah, I thought it was good. It was just a lot of wrestling to cover this weekend. AEW. Yes, I just mentioned them because they had their show on Saturday. Then you had Evolve, which I need to watch that. I may review that or talk about it later in the week. And I will be talking about the other company. Later in the week. But hope y'all enjoyed this little recap of the Extreme Rules and what we can see going forward from these wrestlers going into SummerSlam, not Survivor Series. We can't get too far ahead of ourselves, even though I know Vince, he probably likes to book that far off in advance. But we're gonna just see how this plays out going forward, and I'm curious to hear your all of you all's thoughts on everything. So thank you all for listening. Stay tuned, hit the notification bell. We got more cool things to come, and I will see you all next time, and be blessed and stay safe.